join me for a short prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you seeking your guidance and blessings as we pursue our goals. Please grant wisdom to make some decisions and the diligence to work hard and the clarity to discern the right path forward. Give us the courage to overcome obstacles and the resilience to learn from our setbacks, but keep our hearts humble in times of success. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
And let's pledge to our flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Ruth.
My pleasure.
Happy birthday, USA.
Yes.
Everybody had a great 4th of July. I don't see Jeremy. We can go ahead and take reins here with the Northeast Indiana Solid Waste District. You're ready, Randy.
I think you were all given a paper that has several columns on it.
Yes.
I dropped it off so we can talk about that a little bit. What we're here for is to try to get an additional appropriation passed to buy a new tub grinder. These machines are pretty expensive. The one we're looking at is $1.5 million. They do last a long time. We bought the last tub grinder in October of 2011. Paid $546,000 for that. They're willing to trade that in on this model for $250,000. But we have a chance maybe to sell it on an auction site. And we put it up once just to see kind of what the bid was. And we got about $300,000 for a bid that we didn't accept at that particular time. We want to keep that tub grinder until after about a month. We get the new one to shake it out, see how that works or whatever, as far as making sure everything's a go. But we also have a horizontal tub grinder that we bought in July of 2020. Paid $636,000 for that. We really don't use that very much. It's a smaller machine, and it we used to go around more to small compost lots and grind stumps and debris and stuff like that with it. And they'll trade that in for $425,000. But we had that on that auction site for a little bit, and we got a bid of $525,000 for that. So we're putting that one up to bid. Going to have that out of here probably in the next 30 days. And as long as we can get more than $425,000, then we'll accept that bid, and that cash will come in. But we're working for the budget, the appropriation going out. So it doesn't matter what kind of money we have coming back in. We have to have enough in the budget to spend it out. So when we get all done, we think the difference will be somewhere around $500,000. Once we get that money in and the money goes back out.
Placing 2 for 1.
2 for 1. Yeah. The old tub grinder, works pretty well, but it's getting harder to get parts for it. That sort of thing. So and there's even a thought process that maybe if we can't get a lot out of it, we might keep it for a backup at $250,000. It might be worth keeping as a backup. So we'll just see when they get down the road. Probably we get this appropriation through. We sign the paperwork for the contract. We're looking at a November delivery on a new machine, because they'll start from scratch building it. So that's kind of what we're looking at. And this sheet that I'm trying to show you here is that we have the money that's needed for that, even after expending the $1.5 million. We still have it estimated at the end of December, $3.1 million left. Our budget next year is probably going to be around $3 million. So, there's really not a big money issue there as far as having the money to do it. We've been kind of planning on doing it. We just never put it in budget because we weren't sure exactly when we were going to do it. So that's kind of what we're looking at there. The tub grinder is used in all 4 of the counties. Used a lot down to Ashley and a lot at Steuben, not so much in some of the other counties, but we have locations where, if there's storms or there's tree services that go around and cut things down, and even individuals bring in limbs and things that they cut down. We can take in that stump grinder, and I think it takes up to 8 feet to 18 inches or something like that. You can just throw in the top of them, it grinds it up and it comes out as mulch, and then people come in and they buy that mulch, and we charge them for that, and they come in, and so we recoup some of that money through that process in keeping our budget going. So that's what we're asking for, is 1.5 million in additional appropriation. Any questions? I'm more happy to answer those.
This thing's, how do you move this thing around?
I didn't move around with a semi that has, instead of 2 tandem axles on the back, it has 3. So it's a huge truck, and it's on a pretty big trailer. And so the whole thing, truck and trailer, whole thing's probably about 100 feet long.
How about width? Is it oversized or it all fits in the lane?
It all fits in the lane. It's kind of more long than narrow, and it has a big grappling hook and an operator's station up above the cab that's up there. So it reaches over and grabs the stuff, lifts it up, puts it in there. And so then, it depends on what you do and whatever, and how many things people throw in there. I mean, we've got a big piece of metal that went through the machine before, because sometimes trees have a tendency to grow around things. So they end up in the middle of the tree. I mean, you plant it by a fence row or whatever's there. And it's not just, metal things, it's stones and stuff too. You don't realize that, but in the middle of a tree will just grow around something and encompass it. And so all of a sudden you go stick something in there and you got a rock. And we did have one instance where didn't park our equipment quite far enough away and broke a windshield, threw something out. So you got to be careful with, it can be a little dangerous. So we keep public back when you're grinding and all that kind of stuff, because don't want anybody to get hurt.
What's the warranty on this thing?
There's Doug can talk more about the warranty on that.
So I'm opting for, it comes with 12 months and you can extend that out 12 months. So it would be 24 total or 1,000 hours, but we would never put 1,000 hours on it. Generally.
Yeah, one of the reasons why the old tub grinder and the horizontal grinder are worth as much as they are is because we just don't put the kind of hours on that a commercial type person would do or whatever with that. And that's the reason we can keep them longer and everything else, because of the number of hours you put on. But we do have to put new teeth in them every once in a while. They call them teeth, but they're the hammers that grind all that stuff up, that wears all that stuff down. So you're constantly maintaining.
Questions?
Is that you guys' phone number? Randy, that 8210?
What?
Yes,
Good.
that's
Okay.
their fund, that's theirs.
Okay.
Okay. It's just the national thing of ours. Yeah. So we were, and with the money, when it comes back, it goes directly into the same fund that it came out of for you guys?
Yes, it will.
Is 8210 your general fund?
Yes.
I've done a lot of research on this machine. It's one of the best ones on the market. And the best thing about what they do down there, their maintenance program on these machines is top shelf. They're doing a really good job with them and have very little breakdown. When they do, they get it right back up and running. like I say, this machine that he's looking at, as good as you're gonna get.
What brand is it?
It's a Veneer, Premier.
I just searched it on the internet, I saw Hogzilla. I don't know if
Yeah,
Power
there's-
Screen makes one of these.
Yeah, there's
Power Street doesn't do this stuff.
There's a bunch of different machines out there, but this is the top of the line machine. And one of the reasons why we're thinking about maybe keeping that tub, if we can't get good enough price out of it, the old one, is because we did have an instance where we were down 3 months. Where we had a major repair on that old tub grinder. It's just hectic to catch back up after not having it, depending, of course, on what time of year, but if, it's like anything else, if the machine's gonna go down, it's gonna go down when it's being used the most. And, it's not gonna go down December, January, February. It's gonna be in, June, July, and August.
Balancing if you get top dollar versus what other capital things you have in the future that you can use the funds for.
So it's not decided whether or not you're going to sell them.
Gonna sell the horizontal. It's gonna sell, or it's gonna get traded in, because we just don't use it very much.
Okay.
It's not, it's something, it's at a stage where it's more going downhill because of not using it than it is the amount of use it gets. I mean, probably in the last 2 years, we've used it twice. The other one just works so much better and does a better job of everything. So that's the one that gets used.
2 different styles. So if you had a choice of using a snow blower or a snow shovel, which one would you?
I love that.
Okay.
I move to approve.
I'll second.
Please.
You're good.
Those in favor, raise your right hand. Thanks, guys. Good to see you.
Thank you, council. And I was just listening to Randy here and I'm thinking, besides being an accountant and controller, this man has so much knowledge. I don't even need to be here. I mean, it's such a blessing to have him. He is so vested in this and has been vested in it for 20 years. And I just wanted to publicly acknowledge what a blessing he is. And his skill is way beyond the numbers, the knowledge that he has. I am grateful for him every day.
He's done a great job for you guys.
Well, I'll finish that.
Good to see you
paperwork
guys.
here next day or two.
I'll get you a copy of the signed resolution. Okay. You want me to email it? You want me to email it?
That'd be fine.
Okay, I'll be at someone. Okay.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
I have those too.
Court Judge, Poplar Council. Good morning. How are you?
Good. Judge is on vacation.
Yeah.
So he sent me, we just needed a little bit more money in our public council transcript line. Right now, our balance is 2,335. We have a claim that's standing out there for 3,750. And then we have another transcript that's going to be coming in soon. For another 3,000 or so for these termination of rights cases, as they all seem to appeal. So they don't lose anything. So that was our new request.
Questions? Almost came out.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Right.
I'll second
Bill? Okay. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Thanks for being here.
Thank you very much.
This morning.
See you.
Chip? Morning. Morning. How are you?
Good. Got 2 additional appropriation requests. The first is to appropriate the fuel receipts we received from April 26th through June 26th in our 1176 gas and fuel oil account. The amount $52,327.37.
That's all. Make a motion.
I move to approve.
I'll second.
Lisa. Okay. All in favor, raise your right hand. 7.
The second one is in regards to our Fund 8150. This is the fund that we pay our reimbursements, or pay for our grant funding. So it's a revolving reimbursable grant. So we expend the funds, which the state reimburses us 8% of what we spent for the funds. This is for our bridge inspection program, which we're required to do through federal highway. So to date, we've expended $64,113.14, and the appropriation request is covered the whole year. So we'll have some more inspection before the end of the year. That would be roughly around 31,000 for those inspections. For the 80% match of it.
I'm not clear on this, Chip. Help me out. So we're expecting to be reimbursed 64,000.
Correct. We're expecting to be reimbursed the entire amount that we're appropriating. That's what we're appropriating. It's just, I'll have to back up for the contract. So the contract is for inspections of our bridge inventory. Inspections cannot begin until October of each year. We inspected our bridges last October for our contract. There was a delay in them billing us. They had a billing issue on the consulting side. So some of last year's bills didn't come until this year. We are trying to do these appropriation requests every year, but we're actually going to spend that year. So we didn't have all of this appropriated in the budget. This is something that didn't get included in the budget. But we have the grant, we already have the money set aside for it. Then we're getting caught up on the reimbursements, and the state changed their reimbursement policy, so we're not getting reimbursed. But we'll get reimbursed all of the $64,113.14. We'll get reimbursed for that. That covers last year's portion of the grant. We have another phase that'll begin in October. We're estimating that the reimbursable part will be around $31,000 for that phase of the project. If they get us billed and we get it turned in, because they have to do the work. It's 30 days after that. And it takes us 30 days, then it takes another 45 days to get it all paid back. Reimbursed.
So our 20% is outside of that.
Correct.
We've already, that's
Our 20% is all approved and is in 1135. That's not the issue.
this is basically just managing grant funding.
Yes.
I don't understand, how can you appropriate when it's a negative balance? And then he explained all that to me.
Yeah, it's just the change through the audits that we had through State Board of Accounts. It used to appropriate the funds that were spent through the grant revolving funds till last year. And then we were doing them a lot. We're doing them quarterly, and we're trying to not do them quarterly, just a lot of paperwork. So we're trying to do it once.
Okay, questions or comments? Accept the motion.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second it.
Eric and Renee. Any other comments? Raise your hand. Anything else going well? Still looking for our state money coming back? So you get your checks.
Yep.
Still looking.
Still looking.
Well, I mean, you very publicly made the commitment, so should be good. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hey, workload on the winds and trees. That storm was something else because what came down when it first happened, stuff kept coming down for a couple weeks afterwards.
There's still more coming up.
There's a lot hanging.
There's still more hanging. There's still more dead trees. There'll still be more down.
Thanks for dragging them off our road.
Yep, no problem.
Thank you. Alicia, right on time.
Yep.
Morning.
Good morning. I have one item on the agenda before you today. It is for an additional appropriation into Fund 1000 for overtime for EMS staff. If you recall, last month I was before you to do a transfer from overtime into our part-time. Looking back, when the 2026 budget was submitted, it looked like it was underfunded a little bit from what historically has been spent out of part-time. And to make sure that we were copacetic with the auditor's office and we were not going in the red, we did that transfer first. Now we're going for an addition to replace what was taken out. And in 2027's budget, I did budget appropriately for what I'm hoping we will see in the future for usage.
Yeah.
I have a question. Is the request coming out of general because overtime, I can't remember where, isn't some of your overtime paid out of 1236, which has a healthy cash balance? None of it is. So that's why it didn't come, that's why the request didn't come from 1236, which has a healthy.
Correct. Overtime and part-time are both out of the general. So when we looked at how we were gonna make up that difference, actually from overtime to put it in part-time, they're both in general and still in the 1000s. And now I'm just replacing what I took out of the overtime from last month.
And it would be too hard to take it out of 1236 since overtime is not paid out of 1236.
Answer that.
I was.
Well, going back to last year's budgets, with our extra lit funds, 1236, we kind of decided how many positions that fund could handle. We put those positions in there. And until we get into this next year's budget to see, you're right, cash balance is good, but we can have that conversation again about what we manage out of 1236 going into next year. But I also know that we looked at the budget that was presented last year pre-Irving department head, and it was pretty consistent with their use. And we were also told that with full staffing and all the other things we invested in, that we shouldn't be hammering overtime any worse. So
Yeah.
this is a big number.
It is, yes. There's also, there was some changing from staffing. And when you get a new staff member, they have to write third until they're broken. That's the term that they use over there, so I'm using here. Also, there's just shortfalls in the schedule where certain individuals are not picking up and others are, and we are just filling and backfilling. Now, with that, obviously, one of the concerns was, well, how complete is our schedule? Our 10 to 10 traffic has been running consistently this full year. There has not really been any time when we retracted that truck in use. So with that, this is what the schedule actually will look like going forward. Positive is, yes, we're paying more money, but at the same time, we have 3 trucks that are on now consistently full year. So more coverage, able to answer more calls. We're reducing the number of EMS 10, which is where we're calling staff in because we don't have anything available. So that's the balance of it. Now, I've only been here for 5 months, so even a little longer than I might have.
But no, we weren't consistently running that third truck before.
No, this is.
It
the
was
first
not,
year.
and that is probably why some of us have gotten way less phone calls about coverage issues.
Yes, we are busy. I actually have data for you guys, and I know data is fun, but yes. To your point, absolutely.
And the reason why overtime, you're asking for this is because we took from overtime and put into part-time.
Correct.
Down 62,000.
It's so editing, not that I noticed.
I realized there was a little bump in it, but I don't want to come back to your schedule and say, hey, I didn't budget appropriately. I would rather have a little bit left over and have to transfer that to part-time at the end of the year, rather than come for an additional that is unexpected again. I'm trying to keep your schedule easy, trying to make sure we have an operating budget that is sufficient.
And I bet if you pulled your input into general is up. With having 3 trucks running all the time, the money that you're making, the bottom line that you are bringing in that dumps into general.
Christina, what a good segue.
Just happen to have.
Nope, those are interfacility. So I do have two pictures here. It's a beautiful graphic. I'll have to let Andy know about that. But so this is all of 2025 compared to the first half of 2026. Some of the numbers are not 100% accurate because I had to take what I could from administration. I'll give that one to you. And I have the back of So in looking at that, you see that we grossed over 2 million last year, and that's return for 2025. And then when you look towards 2026, we are on par, or we will be a little bit above that. So talking about numbers, there's a beautiful graphic for you guys to review.
For 6 months, looks like we're lagging.
I was just.
Okay,
EMS,
that's,
elections.
but remember, they run on a 180-day cycle, so their arbitration timeframe lags more than you would see. That's why I'm hesitant in sharing this, is because of the fact that probably end of July, August, that number will jump because it takes them a while to go through arbitration of all the different claims.
The number I'm always interested in is your reimbursable percentages, like your collection percentage within the different, whether it's private pay, self-pay, and Medicare.
Okay.
Because that is a testament to your coding.
Can you repeat that again? Because I'm actually going to write that down.
I just want the reimbursement rates within the different insurance categories.
So one thing I mentioned to the commissioners previously, a couple of weeks ago, was the fact that I'm working on a 2025 annual report that will include a trip analysis that will show the average per run. And I can also break it down by payer type. Would that be of interest to
Well,
you?
yeah, biller, like billed amount versus collections within all the categories. Private pay, self-pay, insurance claims.
And not stepping outside, but I think part of the reason why EMS MC's numbers look greater in 25 is because that was right after we did the change, and the previous billing company didn't collect or send bills for a period of time. You weren't here for that. And then dumped it all on EMS MC. So they would have easily had at least an extra quarter that should have been billed and paid beforehand when that billing company decided to.
And at some point, if we got that third ambulance run that we didn't have before, we ought to be seeing a 15 to 30% spike in gross receipts, right? We're making more runs, we have more billable. It shouldn't just be pacing in 25, it should be exceeding.
Not necessarily more runs. So what we are seeing is an increase, yes, but we're seeing it in specific sectors. Our interfacility transfer is going up. So this is pacing, some of it is pacing 911 calls. But again, when we're talking about interfacility transfers, that is increasing because Cameron is picking up more specialties.
It's New World Collection.
That is the old collections agency that we are getting away from. Yep. And this is something that has not been shared publicly yet, so this is brand new. So when we look at the total number of runs, and then you look at where we're at compared to 2025 to 2026, we are up 3%. But when we go month over month interfacility transfers, we're seeing a 10 to 15% increase.
And our reimbursable rate on that is strong.
I can verify that for you.
A great number.
Okay, any other questions? Comments?
So an EMS run and a transfer from Cameron are two different categories, that is what you're saying.
They're not billed as a different category. They take different personnel depending on the type of facility transfer it is.
But it's not counted as a run.
It is counted as a
It
run.
is counted as a run, okay.
It's counted as a run. It's just a different category, a subcategory within that. There's a 911 run, then there's an inter-facility.
I make a motion to approve the additional appropriation out of 1000 LOC 0301 for $70,000 for overtime.
Full 70,000. Comments, questions?
Thank you for keeping our community safe. Your team.
They do. I just report back. I will pass it along though. Thank you.
Okay, raise your right hand. You got it. Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Todd, here. There he is. Hey, Todd. How you doing, sir?
I'm very well, and yourself? So I'm here to ask for additional appropriation as far as the CTP funds and up it to $38,934.59.
You have a question? Can I ask?
Yes, please.
So our appropriation is, the request is more than the current cash balance. This is not grant funding like what we saw with CHIP, correct? I didn't have anybody to call in now. I didn't know who to call. You need your cell phone number.
This is what we have billed IDOT for. That's what they've been billed for people we've got on the program through the community transition
So
program.
this is just you putting it back into that. Okay, that makes sense.
Yep.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second that.
Comments or questions? All in favor, raise your hand. Nothing. Thank you, Todd.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.
Christine. And just look to, this balance is what it was at the time that Brett Hayes prepared paperwork. It's a little bit higher than that now, so they have collected even more.
Thank you.
It's always a good question. Morning.
Morning,
How are you?
good. I am here to request permission to apply for the Justice Partners Addiction Response Grant. We've received this money the last 6 years, and used it for different things. I was told this is the last year this funding will be available.
Really? Shouldn't be a surprise, but it's not this year. Appreciate all the additional documentation there. Not sure what intercept 3 and 5, but
And this grant, when you do it, you have to go in and do it, submit it, so I can't work on it and print it out, so that's why I had to do it as a Word document.
based on timing also. This one is coming before the council, before the commissioners, but it will be at their next meeting.
I didn't receive notification of this till 3:45 PM on July 1st and it's due July 20th.
Don't you love that? Our motion will be pending commissioner approval.
And it doesn't take any of our money. This is just capturing more of the money we send to the state so that we can train people.
Yeah, this is federal money that runs through the state and we'll have the money before we use it.
When's the training gonna take place?
Not till July of next year.
Oh, wow.
We'll get the money, if we're approved, we'll get the money in October of this year.
So that'll just sit on your balance sheet till.
Yes. Hopefully,
You're paying for the training or does it wait, do you wait till?
we'll wait until we get the money and then, yes.
Good, comments or questions? Gonna make a motion? Ruth?
I'll second.
Okay. Okay. All in favor, raise your right hand.
Okay,
Thank you.
Have a good day.
The first one that I have is $1,000. It's kind of a bookkeeping cleanup. I hired or rehired Kelly Furman. She's a level 3. So when she started in December, she brought with her knowledge and her skills that we sent her away with. She brought it back. So I had not yet budgeted for that last year. Didn't know she was coming back. So this is housekeeping to get her certification pay.
And how wonderful to have somebody that already knew what they were doing when they came to you.
Amen.
Good.
Want to take them separate? I make a motion to approve the additional appropriation out of 1224 in the amount of $1,000 for certification pay.
I'll second.
Lisa? Okay, all those in favor, raise your right hand. Seven.
All right, and then the next one is for a new Surface Pro. We will take the little tablet out into the field. We load property record cards onto it, take it out to the field. We can do sketch changes and we can write on a PDF. That then comes back into the office and the entry from that. We also can use it for doing mobile homes, which is one of the jobs that my new hire is going out and doing. She's actually going out to all of the mobile home parks for the first time in I don't know how many years. I'm in visually taking pictures and getting eyes on. And so we're going to use it for that. So it's used both by my Nexus crew as well as my staff. When we have that, we bring it right back. We load it in to the computer. It brings in pictures and everything. It all makes things a little bit more seamless and saves paper. We're not printing property record cards and going out and writing on them.
And this fund is a very restricted fund on what it can be used for when I looked it up by Indiana code.
Yes.
And so this is not coming out of
No, this-
anything where we can pay anything else.
It's a sales disclosure fund. I can use it for training, for software. So you'll see that the second part of it is $500, and that is to actually get my software loaded on. But this here is all inclusive with the licensing and everything that we've got. My last Surface Pro we got in 2018, and we have used it until it's no longer good. So I do have 2, so this will replace the old one.
What populates this fund with money? How does it-
Sales disclosure fund.
Yeah.
So for every sale that comes
So
in,
what happens?
as long as it's an arm's length transaction, there's a $10 fee that comes through. We keep $5 of it, 5 goes to state.
That's on every settlement statement then, basically.
Yes.
Okay, any questions, comments? Motions?
I'll make a motion to approve the purchase of the computer out of 1131 for the sales disclosure fund for the amount of $3,270.48.
I'll second.
Favor, raise your hand.
Can I ask you a question? Is it okay if I ask you a question? How? No, it is my understanding that the DLGF put out their, they updated the criteria on the taxation when it came to barns and things like that. First time they've updated it in years, which changed the way that caused a lot of difference in people's assessed values of their barns.
Correct. It's an update to cost tables.
Cost tables.
Yep.
And how much grief have you had in your office?
Well, imagine raising something 30% in 1 year. So the basis of having a ratio study is to incrementally keep people in line because we go out once every 4 years. So if we go out once every 4th year and you have raised 15% in a 4-year period, we've incrementally kept you in line. So imagine not doing that for 7 years and boom, the cost to construct a pole barn or agricultural buildings. Just as an example, we've got a lot of poultry barns, cow barns, the long, those can cost $1 million to build. We were assessing them for like $400,000. So now we're more in line with some of those, but it also hit pole barns. So we're also having to look at some of those things.
I was just curious. It was a conversation down.
So in our office, we then kind of do a cost to replace. So we've been looking at, and there are people out there who put how much they'll build a pole barn for. So we printed off, this is how much they charge per square foot. This is how much you're actually now being charged. And we're still under the cost to construct a new one. But then we also have depreciation that will bring it down a little bit. Is that shock when you first see it? I'm a farmer. We saw it.
Was the shock more of we live in a very unique community where people have barns on a back lot, right, for lakes?
That's where we get into some fun stuff. Because if you're not a farmer, you aren't technically allowed to have an ag barn. So a farmer has agriculture, residential has detached garages. So we draw them on as a detached garage pole construction. So it's very similar in value, but it is just a little bit higher.
Some weird anomaly spots like my sister's neighborhood where they're lakefront but zoned agricultural and they build big old barns out back on their back lots, but they're lakefront. And they got that all changed.
Yeah, and sometimes the reason we draw them on as detached pole construction is if they are contiguous, it is still a homesteaded structure because that barn is a residential structure. A couple of years ago, we had a Shipler case that came through that any barn used for residential purposes, we had to make that, is this a barn or is this a,
there's so many
cap 1 or a cap 3?
Oh,
So, yeah.
So that's why I was just curious. how if it made your,
Yes.
if you had more appeals, if you had more.
I would say total appeals, we talked most of them through it and explained. I think I maybe have 15 that are pole barn complaints. We end up, this year we had 280 appeals, which is about normal for us. So just a handful of them were pole barns.
I was just curious.
And even at 280 appeals, that's less than 0.5%.
Thanks, Kim.
Thank you, Kim.
Sure.
Good morning, council.
How you doing?
Auditor. Good, how are you? I bring nothing but fun.
You always do that.
Yes, amen. The first thing on the agenda there, the 15,000, that is the Marine Patrol grant. So you're visually seeing how its requirements are laid out. And we've already received that first and started. So half of that we have received already. And then we'll get the last at the end of the summer patrols from the state. Or from the grants, I'm sorry.
Okay. Make a motion to accept that.
Okay.
Second.
Eric. Okay, let's raise your right hand. Thanks for doing a great job with that.
Thank you.
How are you impacted by the July 1st laws with that? Are you guys?
I have had, we were just talking about it yesterday, several conversations in regards to the new boating laws. course, there was a lot of social media outlet that was wrong. Had a lot of people ordering red flags, and a few of the guys out there had mentioned that it looked like at one point on one of the lakes that about 4 people needed help because they're out there waving red flags, thinking they're supposed to have a red flag on the back of the boat while they got somebody in the water. And, you know, guys were pulling up and saying, is everything okay? And they're like, yeah, we have our flag up. We just have our flag up. Well, you don't need a red flag.
We had our flag up so you wouldn't bother.
Yeah, that's social. Exactly. You're supposed to leave us alone with that. But yeah, some of the social media spots, the associations put out some information. It was corrected by others, but some didn't get the correction. Yeah, it's been interesting.
Lanyard's an interesting one because for some reason they took it. Doesn't qualify to boats over 26 feet, which makes no sense to me.
I don't remember the particulars, but it pretty much fell on the lines of if there is one, you need to be attached.
Mhm.
And that's kind of the way that read. And that has been more so than the red flags.
Yeah.
The conversation piece of it. So I wish there was a way that we could get, and that's what we were talking about. Somehow, if you paid a boat registration and they had this large of a change, that somehow we either get a mailer
Right.
or something explaining those, but that's these difficult communication barriers we run into all the time.
It would be really great if you had to, like, you know, when we took our snowmobile up north,
Right.
you had to tag it.
That's right.
You have to pay for it.
Yep.
It'd
Yep.
be great.
Yeah.
And we could put it right into our marine
Yeah.
patrol.
And that was exactly, and that was a little bit of the conversation too. If we did a mailer, I mean, I don't want to say half, but a large majority of our boats aren't even registered in it. You know, you get down to Hamilton area, you got a lot of Ohio boats, you know, Lake James is the same for good. People come in for the weekend, you know, they're just not aware of the changes.
I think the OWI applying like it's a vehicle thing is a big one.
Simplifies, and yes,
Yeah.
it does make it big. So it's been going, it's a work in progress. How's that?
Yeah. Well, thanks for your efforts out there.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Oh wait.
Command source.
Vote on that? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, good. Command source, body scanner. We have been in need of a body scanner. I'll say in need. We have been in thought with this for quite some time. It's important. I think it is a tool. There is a little bit of user knowledge there that falls under it doesn't mean it saves everything, finds everything. It's still the ability of the person operating. It's basically a full body x-ray is what it is. And it will identify, and you also have to identify questionable, let's say in someone's stomach, if we were all thinking about seeing little half moons in there, you would still have to identify that, find those things. We have contraband that comes in the facility. Everybody does. It's difficult sometimes with where that contraband is kept. That's the need of the body scanner. We have been in some dangerous situations where occasionally a weapon may get through. Somebody cheeks a knife, a small pocket knife, or drugs. You get drugs in a facility. This is just yet another positive tool to stopping that, reducing our liability a bit, so that we're not dealing with the aftermath and we're catching it early on.
So will this require staff training?
It will. It will. It's interesting. And I'll tell you, that was our reluctance the first time we went through it. It takes if you or I, we could walk up and look at the screen and think we know what we're looking at, but you really have to be educated and trained on what you're looking at. And so employees are a big part of that. You need to have somebody that's capable. We've been to many facilities that have these, and they've still had contraband get through and bad things happen. So it takes, yes, it's a whole program, educational program. It takes a training, several trainings, updates. I don't know that in the future we may see, they do have a program out there that's AI assisted, but from what we're finding in a few of the facilities that have the AI assisted in there, the AI is not catching it, and they're relying on the AI to catch it. So it's a blend right now.
Someone comes in with contraband, or let's say a weapon, or assuming additional charges go against that person.
They should, yes. Yep. They really would if they don't say, I have this. Because sometimes they will come all the way, an officer, doesn't matter what agency would bring, could be ours, brings them in, they get to the intake counter, and they'll say, in the back of my swim trunks, I've got a folded knife. And they just missed it because, in men's You know, the old swim trunks that have a little pocket that slides in your back there. The officer may have missed it. Or like I said, they'll tongue and cheek a pocket knife. They'll just stick it in their mouth below next to their tongue and it gets missed, you know.
What's your current scanner?
Or we don't have a current scanner.
No.
At all. So right now it's physical.
We need to notice on here, 2026 additional versus 2027 budget.
That-
What's this timeline for you?
I hate to, we should have had it a few years ago. We did try a few years ago. The systems they had won't fit in our facility. Now they've come out with a new design, smaller units that we can get in and keep in our facility. There are some requirements. Obviously, it's got to be climate controlled environment. There has to be free of different computers and things not being around the system. So now we meet a lot of those or all the factor points that you need to put one in. Importance, or I guess back to your question, it's a strong need. It's a strong need. It would do nothing but benefit our facility for sure.
I heard your presentation at the commissioners meeting, but you know, as far as what, we have a dollar amount here, but we don't really have it advertised to vote on it today from the standpoint.
Okay. Okay.
Right? There's no funds listed like.
Correct.
What-
So today was the discussion.
Okay.
Because when you met with the commissioners, it was already past the deadline for the additional. Kelly has been in contact and is getting paperwork around. So the addition, if you give him a verbal and move forward, the additional appropriation will come next month for it.
Well, I think that a lot of times the commissioners, here's what we're thinking as far as funding sources, you know, fund lines and give us some delivery.
They did not.
They just gave me the okay to come and present.
Yep. Yep.
A request. I will say we modified our budget and also placed it in the line item.
They did here in the commissioners meeting, like probably don't want to touch the whole jail upgrades line item, right?
Yeah, I think right now, I mean, that was a consideration, what we have left or what we think we may have left by the end of the year, using those funds to supplement the purchase. That's really up in the air. We have so much in the facility, or could be correcting and changing. We just don't know where it's going to fall at. Getting the work done, identifying the issues, that kind of stuff. It's all on chaotic timelines. Because like this week, our air conditioning went back out. So now, I shouldn't say went back out. We were having some issues with the air handling system, getting the air conditioner working this week. So that creates a havoc, having all those bodies in that place and people trying to work and keep those individuals calm as well. So the focus gets redirected. It gets moved on.
That gives us some time to think about, maybe hear about, you know, what the best funding solution would be for that. Guess we could take a straw poll on, you know, find the best way to afford it if we're all in favor of it or not. That helps you.
Yeah, so yes, thank you. I'm really concerned about next year. I have only heard conversation. Of course, I do attend the AICs and anything I can in regards to SB1. I don't know where this is going to float out for all of you. So my initial thought is to get it presented, see if we can't make it happen, because I don't know what that's going to look like for council and the next administration for next year. So that's where I'm kind of at. I'm in between educated and not knowing what's going to happen. So the best opportunity I thought was to get this in front of everybody. And if we have the ability to get this started, to do that.
27's budget's gonna function a lot like 26's budget did. So
Oh, okay.
28.
When it really.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's good. Thank you.
29.
29, yeah.
They pushed it back.
Oh.
I have a question. One, does it work at all like with insurance? Do you get some kind of discount because you do this? You know, like in my home, if I put cameras in, then I got a 5% discount.
I'm sure it will be in the positive to us. I'm sure that will go that way. I can't answer it with our insurance carriers. I don't know how that would work with them. I did not check with ours particular.
And then second, is there any risk that puts us at any kind of liability if they have any kind of electronic thing inside their body and the scan happens?
There's all parameters to when you can and can't use it. It looks the functionality of it though is pretty much 99% of everybody would go through the system. There is a limit to use though. You can't go through it more than 100 20 sometimes in a year.
Wow.
It is.
Yeah, that'd be a bad year.
Not saying we have anybody that may need that.
You didn't release that much.
We do have to keep track. Yeah, yeah.
And do you know if any of the
I would think also.
any of your other funding sources that may not exist anymore in 2029 that have fund balances, does this fit under any of those criteria? I mean, just my brain just spinning about where
No,
money.
really, it's a facilities purchase. So like our jail maintenance, our facility maintenance fund, where we establish how much goes in there for construction or costs, that would work for this. Because it is an infrastructure piece to the facility, an operating piece of the facility. So we could use those funds as well. We generally run right down to the dollar.
No, I was just curious if like part of public safety could be used for it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's equipment.
Opioid.
Yeah, opioid funding. That was a suggestion I had. We've only got 24,000. I'm gonna run off the rough numbers. I think we've only got like 24 or 25,000 currently in the opioid funding. We've not received this year's check in the opioid funding. We do not know how much it's going to be, nor do we know when we're gonna get it. It just comes, and it comes at their own factor, I guess, on what they think we should get relative to Steuben County.
You usually expend down 1174 medical care for inmates.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think that's 1174 is my contractual line, yeah. Yep, that's all figured.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah. We did go to the community foundation to see if we could help with the restricted funds. And they did a lot of checking for us back and forth, and it wouldn't work. But we did try and go that route to see if the community foundation with the commissioners to give them restricted funds to go through the funds.
No state grant funding for projects like that, or?
There's grants. I want to say with emergency management, we applied. We've not heard yet back. We applied for, so I was going to get with Lee to see if that was one of the items. There it is. Lee, did we put the body scanner on that grant that you applied for last year? Do you remember what we asked for?
Last year we asked for, I think it was 2 or 3 of the flock cameras.
Yes.
We did get approved. I just got that notice late Friday.
There you go. Fantastic. So we've got a little bit of funding coming in that way. That's something.
Might be parts and pieces put together and come up to it.
Well, does it have to be used for clock cameras if that's what we apply?
That's what you have to use it for.
If you accept it, you got to use it for those because that's what we asked.
We had time. Maybe we could do a new grant request through EMA for.
Well, that one has it passed already. That's the one that kind of popped up on us last minute at the beginning
Yeah,
of the
that's the
month,
one that
right?
I'm asking for approval today for IT that was submitted. I actually submitted it last week, but I can't remember, but we'll get there.
Yeah. That's one that just came up and
Literally, we had
a very missing time.
Well, I'll take a straw poll vote here amongst council so that you can get a sense for whether you want to keep communications going.
Okay.
Being purchased, and personally, I'd advocate for anything that helps our confinement officers.
I agree.
Yep.
All's in favor of the sheriff continuing to pursue this until we figure out our funding? Raise your hand. 7.
Great. Thank you. I appreciate that. So we'll stay on the agenda for the appropriation. Yeah, great. Thank you.
Thank you. Good to see you.
Yeah, good seeing you guys.
Anna. Morning.
Good morning.
Hi.
Yeah, how are you guys? I have 2 things on the agenda today. The first one is the FEP grant. That is a recurring grant that we went and it does our preparedness coordinator. So it has increased from 20,000 to 25,000 this year. And I just need approval for that. Alicia already set this budget back in January, by the way.
This in June.
Correct.
Okay. Make a motion.
I will make a motion to approve the grant.
Second. Bill,
One that's getting bigger.
Yeah.
Holy
It's
cow.
unusual.
Yeah.
Everything else going down.
Okay. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Okay. All right, transfer request, 8112.
Yep, so I am just looking to transfer $5,925.34 from the PEP coordinator salary to machine and equipment. So our equipment, our laptops and Surface Pro have been purchased back in 2021, I believe. And we're just looking to update that to work properly and not have to be plugged into the wall constantly.
So that would have been in our box. That would have been in your box.
And that's not going to deplete you.
No.
Two laptops, three laptops.
I'm looking because I do have some additional funds in the line moving forward, so this would just be increasing that line. So I'm looking to get 3 laptops and a Surface Pro is what we currently have. Well, we have 4 laptops right now, but he would rather switch to a Surface Pro versus a laptop.
So burn down a little cash balance. But
Yes, yep.
Good. Questions, comments?
Is a Surface Pro not a good idea, Christina?
I didn't love our experience with
Oh,
it.
okay.
This is much better than what we had. So
Okay.
that's personal preference.
I think it depends on how much. If it's more of an infield carried around every day.
That's what he's looking at is easier for travel.
I only had my service in one time for repair all those years we had. Fits, but I know many people have bad experience.
Lisa thought with
Things
her.
are first times all the time.
Yeah, these are great. Okay. Anybody want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the transfer.
And I'll second.
Raise your hand. Seven. There you go.
Thank you very much.
Good seeing you again. Michelle? Jim? This is a standard process that we do all the time.
Yeah.
Okay, I think you can move
And
forward.
we're ahead.
Let's take.
I'll make a motion to approve if you're accepting motions.
I am.
Okay.
Thank you, Lisa.
I'll second that.
Bill? Okay. All in favor, raise your hand. Seven. Yep, train maintenance. Okay, we are ahead of schedule.
Sorry,
I'm here with you.
I was answering
Yeah,
it, so.
yeah, we'll
who
take
was
a
wanting to-
10-minute recess max. Get back at it, we can do for the. Bill. And that's training.
A big turn. Yeah. There we go. Yeah.
Are you ready for? Christina, you ready this?
Yeah, we're live.
Okay,
Yes.
we're gonna reconvene here.
No, I get permits or anything.
Who's the chair? I'm obviously a big girl. I can break a chair. It's just like.
That goes with the first one. Yeah, yeah. Okay, sorry, schedule. All right, Lee. How you doing today?
Good day.
Oh. Yeah.
Sorry. Good morning, everybody. So I have for you two items. They're both grant requests. Seeking permission to proceed with, I'm trying to make a note this one first. Okay, so the first one that I have for you to look over or authorize us to continue working towards the NIPSCO Safety Grant Program. This is one that NIPSCO or NISORC does every year that provide funding to emergency responders. We are asking for permission to continue to apply for this grant for the maximum allowed of $5,000. The intent of it would be a collaboration between our office as emergency management, Steuben County Health Department, Steuben County EMS, to purchase equipment and provide training within all three agencies to become CPR AED trainers. This is again with a collaboration between Cameron Health that we're working on and will be able to provide this training to the communities.
I think that sounds fabulous, because I wouldn't know what to do. I would know where it was, and get it off the wall. But I would probably do more harm than help.
Care to make a motion?
I'll make that.
Bill?
Second that.
Raise your right hand. Done. Steve.
Thank you very much. The second grant that we have before you is the Indiana Department of Homeland Security State Homeland Security Grant. This is one that we do try to apply for every year when it comes open for different opportunities. There are two categories with this one that you can do. One is the national priorities, which are lists 5 priorities from the national or from the federal government for us to categorize, and one under enduring needs. If you recall, last year we did submit a grant request for both national priority and enduring needs, as the sheriff indicated. One of them was IT related last year. The other one was a collaboration between our office, the sheriff's office, and then maintenance. And we just received notice at 11 o'clock Friday evening that we were awarded the 2025 one for the Enduring Needs Project. So we will be moving forward with that one. Our IT grant was not awarded to us last year. This came out, we had a very short window, like less than 2 weeks. We received notice of it and it being closed. So I will be very transparent with you. I did already submit the paperwork through this to the state because the deadline was Thursday of last week. If you decide against it, I will withdraw the application that has been submitted there. But in order to remain eligible for the possibility for this, we had to get it turned in. The commissioners did approve it last week. We're asking for the amount of $68,000. It is in a national priorities category. We're going underneath for IT. And what this is intended to this year, it will help with the redundancy and bandwidth for the internet that we have that will help maintain the radio communications, the backup communications within the 911 center, as well as some of the speeds and the broadband width that we have for our servers here. Nikki and her office had been spearheading this. David is the one that actually wrote all the information. I'm literally just a pass-through. So if you have IT questions, we'll have to get a hold of them. But this is a need that will update and improve our county's current capabilities. And I know that you guys are aware that this is something that Nikki's been trying to bring our county out of the dark ages, if you will, to get us to where we are more competitive and faster with what our needs are And I say needs are because we're already there. This is going to start pushing us a little bit over that safety zone.
So if we win this, we get the 68,000. If we don't spend any money.
Correct. So to go back to where we were last year, the one that we did last year was also a cybersecurity initiative to help us switch over to the .gov domain. As that one is, the funny thing, it's not funny. The sad thing is the notice of funding for this came out and we had not been awarded or denied last year's yet. And then we submitted it, then we found out that we weren't going to get it. So they were a little slow. Nikki has been waiting on that project for a year and what we were trying to hope for last year. When I gave her the notice Friday that we didn't get it, she says, okay, I'm good with that. I'm ready to roll out anyways. She had secured funding. This one at this point, we're going to wait again. We'll play that waiting game. So if we get the money, we're going to proceed. If we don't, she's going to find an alternative means. But it is something that needs done, as was last year's project. It needed done. It's going to get done. She has made efforts to have those funds somewhere else. This is what aid us and keep that in. This is one that we will have to spend and then seek the reimbursement
How much?
if approved.
How much were we awarded in 2025 since we got one and not the other?
So the enduring needs one that we had submitted for was just under $125,000. And it's 124 and some change, and that was for 3 projects, all under enduring needs. One for the sheriff's office, one for building grounds, and one for emergency management. This one, like I said, we won't know until they say, hopefully it's not another 12 months before we get told whether this one's approved or not. It's a little frustrating last year.
I think all federal money was interesting the last year.
And going to be again this year.
Care to make a motion?
Second that.
Alright. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Done. Thanks, Lee.
All right, fingers crossed. Thank you.
Carter, you're up. Government funds. Must expect this to go quick because Lee was on for 10:25.
Yeah.
I guess she expected Lee to go quick.
No, I forgot to change the time.
That's all right. It says 10:35. I posted that.
Okay, well, there are no salary ordinance amendments. It's just the interfund transfer. For transferring from one fund into the other fund for insurance. Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Make a motion to approve.
Eric?
I will second. Sort of have to pay our bills.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Take care of our employees.
Why is that amount?
Well, transfer over a large sum of all the time every week. And then we pull from
Pull
the
from
same
it.
claims come in. Yeah.
We're doing them in smaller chunks monthly.
It's a lot less work for the auditor's office to do one big chunk.
Yep. That should cover any year though.
Yeah. We will see, hopefully.
I threw that out there just.
Yes.
Like you did.
It honestly depends on what our claims experience is. We are currently,
She was waiting for that.
we are currently running a little bit higher than what we were anticipating for our claims to be, so. Continue to track it.
All right. All those in favor, raise your right hand.
Did I have one and two?
Yeah, Eric and Christina.
Where was I?
Mr. Howard.
Quick.
Morning.
Morning, how are you?
You need a refresher on the 151 or?
Everybody remember that conversation from last month? That finishes it up, right, with the ESA?
Yep.
Yep. All right, let's pay our bill, kind of a thing. Yeah, I take a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the additional appropriation for $151,617.13.
All right.
I'll second it.
Right. We'll comment on that. I think overall that was a good investment.
And I really appreciate you guys putting on there what the other communities put towards it too. That it wasn't just us. I think that's great. It was a countywide effort.
Okay. All in favor, raise your right hand. Yep. Okay. Building and planning split.
I'm going to defer to one of my colleagues. Because he spent more time with those items than I am.
Yeah, we're looking at splitting out the building.
Could you please step up to the mic?
I can do that. We're looking at splitting out the building and planning departments. I think it'll create more of a better look for the county, having those two separated. I think a lot of people think they're the same, kind of the same process. They are not. I think anytime when we had that job description combined, you either get someone that's good at a building and not necessarily good at planning, or you get someone good at planning that's not necessarily good at building. So I think having our own building commissioner and then having our own plan director, I think is the way to go. This also will help separate the combination that we've had between commissioners and the planning plan commission. This will put that plan director under the actual plan commission. The plan commission is an advisory plan commission, so there's, they do have, they'll have their own budget, but it'll still be under our control of, not control, but the budget will be controlled by the council.
It is the commissioners making a step to take us to the future to allow, I believe, sitting on the plan commission the last 2 years, we're going to have dedication from one side of where are we going? There's so much happening right now, and if we don't stay ahead of it, it could come in a way we don't like. So I think that's really important. And then the other side of it is, let's tighten it up. How can we make our building department?
Yeah, and I think,
strong?
we get kind of into that corner of being a population of, that 35,000, but we know we're not that. All the construction around the lakes and, our, and what we have going on, it's just, we are a lot bigger department than that. So I know since I was there, we've broken a record, I think, every year as far as pulling permits for the last 6 years. So.
I have a couple questions.
Yeah.
We're gonna physically separate these offices?
Yes. Well, no, not physically. They can still be combined. So what we're gonna do is the permitting will still be up front. They're gonna cross train kind of like the health department does, where it's just a permitting department. So that'll be under the direction of the plan director. And then basically the 2 inspectors, one of those positions will just become the commissioner.
So everything's gonna function in the same space?
As of now, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what about number of personnel?
No increase in
It will
personnel.
stay the same,
No
the
increase in
number.
No extra health insurance.
Oh, yeah, no, it's just we're just kind of cleaning some stuff up, separating.
And then liaison wise, would be an additional liaison requirement on council?
I don't for building. I don't know if you really need that. I mean, there's for council, there's, you basically are gonna have the permit fees, and that's about it.
Code enforcement. Do you think
we're looking at making some changes there
okay?
for 2027?
Yeah. Automation, pulling permits.
Pulling permits, that I know Nikki touched on that in front of the commissioners. We're gonna go back in front of our Smart Gov. Grandis is the company, and I think the health department's on board. We've got to get that, and that's one of our requests. But we get that going to where we can be doing stuff more online and a lot better flow. And I think this will help. It'll also help having more of a permitting office rather than having to split duties. They'll be combined and be able to do both.
Yeah, I know it's gonna make things
Yes.
better internally for us, but at the end, of the day,
Yes.
I really want it to be better. For
Yeah, it needs to be, and we are paying for that, that service. We just need to get it online.
Not utilizing it.
And I know Nikki is put that on her front burner.
And it would give somebody who is more dedicated since, right, the community found it, there's a group trying to make us as a county as a whole, a little bit easier to come and build it.
I think our reputation has improved over probably last 10 to 15 years. I really do, working in there, but, I think there's stuff we can clean up for sure. And we're working on that.
So with the wage classification, what's the difference in
There'll be a,
pay that's gonna cost the county?
the planning department will be the same. And the building department will be increase of
Total was gonna be close to 70 if you rolled in per FICA, everything like
that'll
that.
be a 7,000.
A year
A year.
or for the remainder
For
of this
the-
year?
Well, that's for 20.
That includes payroll taxes.
And that's just for the up duty being a building commissioner.
What's your timing on this?
What's that?
What's the timing on this?
Oh, we'd like to get that done so we can get this separated, get those jobs posted.
So we have an additional for this year.
I don't think we need an additional because
No.
we haven't had a blender.
We might have a transfer.
Yeah.
We just have people who are doing multiple jobs
Yeah.
right now
Right.
and not being compensated for them.
So yeah, we'd like to get this ball rolling on this.
Going forward, not this year, but into 27, you'll see a separation. We're planning, we'll have a budget. We're building, will have its own separate budget. Those numbers won't increase. We'll just divvy up what they currently have between them. Other than the salary.
Yeah, salary, that additional job description, I mean, that will be increased.
Because that was a little bit of a surprise when it came back from West.
Any questions?
We're just approving the job description today, is that correct? Is that what we're doing?
Yes, so we get those posted.
Yes. I make a motion to approve the 2 new job descriptions, one for the planning director and one for the building commissioner as presented. Is that okay, Kelly?
I'll second that.
All right. Okay. Raise your hand. So, thanks for your work on this, guys.
It's been a process. Good stuff, though. Yeah.
Andy is underselling himself. He did a lot.
He did a lot. Yeah, that's why.
And discuss the.
And thank you. Personnel committee, thank you. A lot of work. Okay. Commissioner Howard, or any commissioner, if we'd like to talk about or under other business.
Sure where you're gonna have it.
We'll keep this on commissioners right now.
So you should have in front of you, not the full appraisal, but partials of them. We'd be glad to provide full copies. So yeah, Andy's been involved with this. This is all part of the housing optimizer project. Is that correct, Andy?
Yes.
Isn't that correctly?
Yeah, so we've got, from, NEI, one of the grant, funders that local ones that we've used from the, through the Economic Development Corporation. We got just shy of $300,000 grant for, affordable housing. And so what we're doing is we're looking at this property to turn it into, I want to make this clear, a residential, affordable housing neighborhood. That's what we were looking to do with this property. And nothing else. Well, I should say nothing else other than It does come with the building next to our EMS North Station. We've looked at numerous years of trying to maybe get something built, in the past for all of our trailers and boats that we have around. This would definitely meet that need. So
It's all the shared well,
yes,
right?
Yep.
That's
Yep. And so we get some of the trailers and stuff we have sitting around here out of this location and put that up there. So
would this be something that would come to a residential TIF?
that's something we could possibly look at, we haven't really got that far. I think we're ahead of the game, according to Isaac, as far as, so we're kind of waiting for everyone to catch up to us. I think a lot of people are waiting to see how we do it and kind of do the model of this. Homes we're looking in there, it's gonna be smaller lots, 800 to 1,100 square foot homes, starter homes, and to make it in that affordable, for first time homeowner type price range or someone
What do you
downsizing.
consider,
Yeah,
what do you consider affordable housing?
what do I consider affordable housing?
What will these
What-
houses be?
That's,
the range of-
I think we're gonna probably still be around that $200,000 mark. I mean, that's just the cost of building that home. I mean, because eventually we still want to get quality homes there,
Sure.
and, but that's unfortunately the bottom line now.
I
is what it
understand.
is. So, but by reducing the lot sizes, and the reason why we can do it here is that we are zoned in the county, so we can kind of treat this as a one-off trial basis to see how it works, and then we can, model that and learn from it and see how it goes in the future. But Fremont has got sewer there. I think they're in discussions of running water to that location, so that those are all pluses.
And us having some skin in that game that has potential being paid back, but
It does that,
we're not holding all of it up front.
Yeah, I mean, that,
You're gonna
Potential for payback is part of this discussion. We talked about how we would fund it.
that 300,000, if just shy of, I think it's like 265 or something like that. That's, when you're talking about building that not gonna go very far, but potential of taking some money back on this.
Will this be ran through the EDC?
Yes. Yeah, it's the group's the housing optimizer organization that we formed. Yeah.
What's our timeline? What do you need from us other than this is under discussion right now?
This is under discussion right now. I would like probably an answer by next meeting. We'd like to maybe head nod to go forward so we can get the paperwork written up. And
So to get comfortable with a yes or a no on head nod. Open to other suggestions, obviously, from the commissioners are going to get involved. But if it's a repayment, maybe it's a major move conversation. Seed it this question. I don't know how we reimburse and seed it. I don't think we can do that. Or potentially even a bond project that we, as funds come back in, could be utilized to service the bond.
Mine is what percentage, I know I've asked before, general is very healthy. What is our target for what our cash balance should be there?
It's such a fluid thing, particularly because that can be driven by insurance so much and having some cushion there. And it's also part of what is a cash burn and what isn't a cash burn when we talk about budgets and personnel. What can we afford to do for our personnel? So I would protect that versus from something like an acquisition piece like this. Like this is a capital investment that usually we don't just straight away fund out of excess general.
It's just that general has been growing at a nice rate. And I struggle a little if we have to pay interest on something, if it's something we can do. It's my only thought process there.
I do too. And I like major moves for this one personally. So
My only
even if it doesn't 100% reimburse, major move's been out there a long time. And it's been used in a very good way under the current commissioners.
I can get around that one. The only thing is it may take, it would be a slower return than anything else.
Yeah, and we're also, you know, in that price, we were also getting an asset, that extra storage barn and stuff like that, so that's gotta come out of there, so yeah, we're not gonna get, you know, full amount back.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah, I say it's not fully coming
Yeah.
back, but originally, a lot of the early commissioners put it into things like facilities.
Right.
Like that didn't have the repayment that it needed to, if that was the goal.
Right.
So, overall, economic development perspective wise, this would potentially spin off a lot more money back to the county in other ways.
Correct.
Once fully built out.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, this
Yes.
be a good size. Yeah.
I mean, if you're looking at, if the casino actually ends up in Steuben County,
Oh, you said
you're
the word.
gonna need a lot of, you're gonna need a lot of housing.
Yes,
for
correct. I mean,
Potential
that's,
people.
you know, whether, and you know, whether it does or doesn't, we know we're a housing shortage.
Sure.
So,
Need a house.
700 homes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we already
Either
are
way,
in a shortage.
we're
We're already in
Yeah.
a shortage
Yeah.
before that even happens.
Yeah. So, yeah, either way, we know it's gonna get, hopefully be a good project.
Are there any utility issues, like what would delay this project from being marketed?
No, I think, like I said, Fremont has a sewer there, we've got gas there, we've got RNC, the electric. And then, the only thing that I think the water is not there yet, but Fremont is looking at. They're close to adding another tower, I think, that location anyways, according to them, so this might actually help. Yeah, yep,
Is that, and it's outside their ETJ.
that's outside their ETJ, their ETJ, I think, ends at that, country, whatever that neighborhood is, right, that would be adjoining, yeah, Country Mountains. I believe that's your ETJ.
Okay. We'll do a strong clear forward.
So agreed upon price. So there's, if you'd like to know that, so there was 2 appraisals completed. The average of the 2 is the price. The property owner has agreed to that average price. You're looking at $1,262,500.
262.
The total acreage is just shy of 50.
You want to see, it's really easy. You go on GIS, you look at the commissioner, since we own the building right there. Click on it and then click the map and then you can see it.
It's quite a good.
It's a hug. I didn't realize there was so much land there.
Documents you were provided, I believe, has a GIS picture. I think, I'm not sure. If not, we can get that figured. Yes, one of them.
We'll have the second appraisal to you by then, but,
Oh, there is. How much is it underwater? It looks like it's got some water.
it has some ponds from the golf course, which actually, you know, might be helpful because when you're building it, you're not paying for the retention.
The ponds, yeah. This water is an issue.
Water was an issue.
For account on a favorable or unfavorable. And not for the commissioners to keep moving forward. So all those in favor of that, raise your rating.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Awesome.
All right. First under other business is our additional appropriation resolution.
No changes in
Six
those.
worked
and
out.
get that over there.
Yes.
I would approve that additional appropriation. Resolution 07026, thank you.
See you. Thank you.
Second that.
All those in favor, raise your right hand. Okay. You have your June 2026 financial comparison reports. Thank you, Treasurer and Auditor's Office. Take care, make a motion, we have reviewed those.
I'll make a motion to review the June 26 monthly financial comparison reports.
Thank you.
I will second.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Raise your right hand. June minutes. Thank you, office. I really appreciate the timeliness of both of those being consistent here.
And I think it looked lovely. I didn't see anything glitchy wise.
I'll second it.
Okay, all those in favor, raise your right hand. So,
Are you using AI to help with the minutes?
No, not these. I mean, I have the AI report in there to break it down, but right now, I use ChatGPT sometimes to help me.
Yeah, I didn't mean that.
Crazy.
I use AI every
Yeah.
single day. So I was just curious because it does help.
I wish I knew more about it. I don't
minutes coming at you for signatures.
know very much about it.
Email and correspondence reports. Solid if you didn't get any of those. Soil and water, board meeting. 26 AIC Fort Wayne Conference. County Conference.
I could be more good since it's closer.
So registration being open. Are you now taking?
If you guys want to go, yes, we are making, one of the first hotel is already booked, but there's like 4 to pick from, now there's 3. But, 2 of them are directly across the street from the Grand Lane Center. The one that's
Hilton's
attached.
Marriott.
Or,
Porter Marriott.
yeah,
That's nice.
and then the other one, it was different. Somebody said it's, all their rooms are
Who's the Bradley?
Bradley.
Yeah.
Yeah. All our rooms are decorated like Peter Bradley.
Aviary. Spur paint.
Oh, okay. But yes, if you guys can let us know that you want to go.
Yeah, it's not.
Okay.
I gotta talk to the boss.
Renee,
Dates are the 23rd.
I like that Marriott right across the street. That's an option.
21st.
I'm okay, so we're.
It's easy.
Courtyard's
It's
perfect.
easy.
Whatever.
What's the first day of it?
Good parking.
Monday,
21st.
Monday?
Monday evening would be the opening ceremonies.
the golf.
You can make most or all of it.
Golf,
The
the
babysitting.
Ray Newt's golf outings usually on Monday.
I think I.
Put myself down.
I don't think I need a hotel.
That's what I'm- What's the cancellation deadline?
You learn so much of those things talking with other people. I
I
mean, that's just my opinion. There is. I learned as much outside of the meeting as I do inside the meeting. Still, if you're willing to put yourself out there and engage.
21st, to 24th.
Registration for the conference.
So by September
September
10th, put me down if I have to cancel, or if I'm gonna drive back and forth, I'll do that.
Christina, Eric, Renee, Dan, Lisa, were you a?
Yes.
Kim Anderson.
Give me a.
We are host county this year. And there's a group of us, I think there's 5 or 6 of us on the committee. So we will be providing one of the gifts that will be there. I think there's 8 of our host counties. And this year, instead of having a basket full of junk, we're going to give a store. So you'll get to pick which one of the county's gifts you want. And ours will be a visor, red and blue, if I remember right. Red, white, and blue. What's Steuben County? And
They're already in.
And it's embroidered, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So say those, you should have just had June give you the cards. Those were hit at state hall meeting. Everybody
Oh,
loved the
those will be there.
Steuben County cards.
June has the visors right now. If you want to look.
I might.
So if there's any volunteerism that you would like to do, that would be fantastic, because they're going to be having different areas that we're going to be.
If there's any what?
Asked volunteers. As a host county, there's lots of opportunity to volunteer. All the way from Sunday setting up to, Thursday tearing down. Something all week.
I'll miss not being in French down there, but this is cool that Allen County's doing it.
It's been a big year for Allen County. Holding the convention.
Okay, so don't forget, your deadline September 10th if you can't go, so we don't end up with a room we don't need. Or if you're gonna drive. All right. Item 3, Republic Transmission Public Meetings that were held. Get a report back from Isaac on those having gone pretty well for the most part. It's very exciting. Something has been in the just barely lagging the gas issue, but the electric issue in this community. So solution on that.
I understand that Orland put together a coalition to fight it, I guess. You heard that about that?
Yeah.
And will that benefit Steuben County and Orange County?
Yeah.
Even though it's just traveling right through to Michigan.
Yeah. My understanding is we're going to get our take off of that.
Have you seen the map of the proposed?
Yes.
There's
It's
2.
actually on here.
Yeah, it's called the state distributable utility tax for collection. They turn in how much of their railroad, utility, broadband, how much of their stuff goes underground or whatever of each of the utilities. They report it to Kelly, and it gets taxed each year. That's collected at state, handed to governor.
So anyways, but will we get any power?
Yeah. That's my question.
As I said, yeah.
Yeah, that will be up to those power companies to choose to access it or not.
Will not be homeowner individuals that would access it. This would be major
Oh, yeah.
power companies that access.
So
So would you
distribution,
rather either REMC or NIPSCO?
NIPSCO, AEP.
AEP has Hamilton, right? But REMC's, that's all REMC area, right? Electric wise?
NIPSCO's up there also.
Okay, item 4, from our highway engineer. State finance gas tax letter and transmission letter. Soil and water updates. Must email letter to municipalities, email on June 29th. Get much feedback on that.
Yep, just to let them know when we want to do a meeting.
Yeah, well, we're still waiting for Jamie to say we're all ready to go and get us online to have a meeting on using the software to collectively be together. You got with the auditor to start punching numbers in.
So with Jamie, we're good. It's ready.
As far as I know, I will ask again tomorrow.
And the idea was potentially if we could hold it on September 1st.
Yeah. I'd like to have our
We need something.
training prior.
So Kelly did get it set up. Christina and I were able to get on and actually play with it here on the computer, so.
Can we, if it's just an informational meeting and we're not making any decisions, can we do a executive meeting where we just can
an admin meeting after our next council meeting. That'd be the
Doors would be open.
Yeah.
I like that idea.
Is that okay? I mean, I feel comfortable enough to at least show you what I know, you know, a little bit
I like
it
that
is.
idea a lot.
Please make it, yes.
Tuesday, the 11th.
Okay.
I have to miss one.
Department heads that day. Department heads that day.
Good department heads that day. If we do, that'll be a long meeting already. Give me a minute. Thank you, Renee.
It's on the calendar. What's going on?
Okay.
So I put everything right here.
It is. Budget. Yeah.
Oh, it's the session, yeah. I wanted one.
Yeah.
Just, think things that the county commissioner, we've been discussing.
Sorry. Butterfingers.
A commissioner and a drainage day, that would be tough for you guys, right? You wouldn't have much time on different Tuesdays, because I just know Tuesdays are good for you, right? But you guys meet the first Tuesday and the third Tuesday of the month. There isn't room on that day for us to be in here after your meeting before drainage.
There's usually a couple of hours.
Yes, before.
So what's that date?
The 4th or the 18th of August.
I would really prefer the 18th if possible, if that works.
I prefer the 18th also.
So if you have any questions for Jamie, we'll see her tomorrow at the Mayor's Commissioners Caucus. She is presenting with AIM to the caucus, the LIT program, and have a discussion, so.
Okay, so the 18th, what would be the time on that?
I can make whatever works best for.
No, I mean, when's the drainage meeting? At?
Oh, what time do you guys know would be before the be in between? So what time is?
Drainage board starts at 2.
So.
Whenever we get,
11 noon.
we're usually done before 11, aren't we, Will? So you have from 11 to 2 that you could,
I mean, and you and I sat with it for a couple hours.
pretty close, yeah. Yeah.
Let's say 11.
11 on the 18th.
Good start of the day. Catch that order.
What date are you now?
Okay, August 18th, Tuesday, 11 a.m. Must training, administrative meeting.
August 18th. 11 a.m.
And then we can still target notifying the units that September 1st.
It's not.
Third, second, third. We're gonna have a lot.
Then
We're gonna see each other a lot.
we're gonna see each other a lot. You see, you know, Jamie talked about potentially coming to our must meeting. You touch base with her, see if that was a real thing.
That'd be awesome.
Have you officially set a date for your must meeting?
We just
The
did.
must meeting or the admin meeting?
I think she wanted to be
She
at the
really
must
wants to be
meeting.
there,
Yeah, she wanted to be
I mean, that's the
That's
actual.
when we
There's a certain-
can't be admin meeting.
There's a certain someone that she would really like to,
She'll just be here to back us up.
yes.
Give some guidance for her.
Yes, thank you. I'm trying to think of the correct words for that.
Okay.
She was kind of holding September 1.
Yeah, but I mean, if she happens to be available for a training.
Yeah, why not?
I will mention that also.
All right, item 7, AIC memo from Ron to state to reimburse local government for tax revenue loss. I'm glad we moved forward with the highway department on this one.
I'm glad that Jamie found the Board of Finance could make us whole this year.
Another question on that September 1st must meeting. What time was that?
Good if I can, Kelly. September 1st.
So does that need to be around the same time? Because you'll have a meeting that morning. It's a Tuesday, right? So you'll have the meeting that morning and then drainage board. So it is 11 o'clock, the best time. Fit?
How long you're gonna make the meeting?
I like you having it bookended because then we have a timeline to stick to and don't let this drag out forever.
Just looking at my calendar and September 1st is a commissioner drainage board meeting, so that's why
We just take Kelly for a whole day.
unless we, Commissioner, if there's anything on the drainage board that day, we could postpone.
We can wait.
If you decide to do
What
that,
time is it on the first?
we could have a post lunch start time.
Well, if they wanna do it on the 1st, which is a commissioner meeting day.
Yeah.
And if we cancel drainage board or move it,
And you can start it at 1 so that everybody could eat.
and they could have the rest of the day.
Start your meeting at 1 and have it the rest of the day. Yeah.
Let's not be crazy.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm thinking, okay.
Like 1 to 3. But if you wanted to keep it.
What we did.
hanging, we can still have our meeting posted.
Okay. Item 8, Steuben County Tourism Bureau and Scouting America, Anthony Wayne Area Council 50th Christmas at Camp event. Sheriff's Commissary report for the team. I had here, tenants in, training on LAO and budgets. Got a lot going on, but when could we get together?
Time for that.
What makes sense? Would everybody like to be trained on that program?
Yes.
How soon?
Later.
Yeah, because by August 11th is everybody coming in. I mean, it needs to be, I guess it could be after that when we start.
Can we please go to August? I'm gone
Is
the
there
last.
any way to make it that week of council meeting?
11th?
The
Is
11th.
there a way to make it like the 10th or something? I
like Mondays.
I'm open on the 10th.
Can we do afternoon instead of mornings? I'm sorry. The world is on fire in my world on Monday mornings.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Let's do,
Understand that.
like 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock, help you?
You're sitting anymore.
Two o'clock for me.
I tell you what, my Mondays, one of the meetings Tuesdays.
Put it down.
Okay, I'll train them.
I'm watching.
Yeah.
2 to 4.
Training 2 to 4.
I have somebody at 5.
Okay, awesome. Look at this calendars coming together.
August 10th.
Yeah, August 10th, 2 o'clock.
2 to 4. I'm gonna have to say pending. Wow, I need to talk to Wow.
Okay.
I'd really like for them to do it because they're gonna, truthfully, they're gonna know more than we will, ins and the outs. But that's what we're gonna shoot for.
Okay. New business. Who would care to give an update on state called county council meeting?
There's a lot. I brought my packets. I told beforehand that anybody that wants to look at it, that would like to make copies, I'm sure you can go into the auditor's office, or maybe I could go in and just have them scanned and send. I didn't think about that right now. Yes. So the first one was about debt management, which we realized what type was that we never ever wanted to do because you pay interest on top of interest. I'm sorry, it's been a hot minute now.
Yep.
But the big thing was, I really suggest you try to digest this one when we send it. I'm sorry, it has my notes on it. They didn't have an extra one. But it explains property tax now to a place that makes sense. And then it talks about where we're headed and the change.
Which we got the video clips sent to us too.
Is that Larry DeBoer's presentation?
No, this was Jamie's.
Jamie's.
Larry also done one. It's very informative.
And I suggest you go back and watch Larry's, watch the three that Jamie sent out beforehand, or just separate ones.
Well, and then, let's get his name, gave him that reflection of the day.
Jamie?
No, not Kay. Shoot. She's been there forever.
Jackie Clemens?
Jackie, thank you. Watch her videos, yes.
I didn't see Jackie's video.
Yeah, 3 of them.
So the 3 from Jamie.
They were the presentations at the conference.
Jackie didn't present at our conference.
Jackie presented at all the
I see,
area conferences.
yeah.
The ones that we were there in person for.
Yeah.
I was. Sorry.
Go down to-
The one
District
down to
I tried to watch
Will
everything I
Howard's
missed.
hometown.
Yes.
Yes, that one.
Hang on to these cards too, guys. That's your conference.
I will.
Someday I'll remember mine to turn in.
The thing about it is everything is this next legislative session. We all need to be plugged in. We need to make sure that we keep our rate inside of lit and don't allow our rate to be lowered and Ames rate to be higher, to raise. That would put us in a bad position, Steuben County especially. The way it is right now, I think it will work out. I know it's not as stable as property tax, but I think we're gonna be okay. I think we really have to be engaged this year because JD Vance is putting together, it has momentum. They talked about it a lot at the GOP convention. Sorry, couldn't think of the word. They're coming after property tax. That, whether or not it's just removing homestead properties completely or removing it altogether. JD Vance's proposal is to move to a service tax and away from property tax. And like I spoke with Mr. Abbott. He was hosting meetings in his county. There are state reps and senators that are hosting these meetings and these conversations in their county. I think it will be a huge uphill battle for AIC this next year to not lose that funding piece that is stable.
Service tax?
Service
And
tax.
or sales tax or just service? Tax?
When I spoke with JD directly, it was all about service tax was his implementation because I accidentally put my foot in my mouth.
So like taxing other services that aren't currently taxed?
Yeah.
Labor is the big one.
So you would pay tax, like legal services, accounting services, lawn care, anything, getting your hair, anything that you would pay for someone to do for you.
Cook a meal.
Yes.
Yes.
So we would have a sales tax and a service tax.
Yes.
Build a house, put on a roof, repair a car, anything labor oriented.
Well, what's
What's the
controllable
rate
about the
gonna be
labor
on
rate?
that?
I mean, how did
7%. Fine. Good real estate. So then how do you put that in for, wow. It's a big, I was surprised with how much people seem to be about it. I said, we're not even done with
How
what.
do you assess that? I mean, you got a professional contractor that's a refrigeration guy or electrician or whatever, and they're charging you $130 an hour, right? And so now you're taxing people on top of that.
On that $130 an hour, you're taxing.
But then you've got a cook and a dishwasher and you're talking something below $20 an hour. I mean, I don't get how you come up with your total labor cost to operate a business and then tax somebody on that further. Yeah, so it's just a flat rate of, it can't be based on your labor rate, it's gotta be based on the bill, which already includes labor. I don't get
So
it.
maybe it wouldn't affect restaurants. I don't know. I didn't ask about restaurants. I asked about the things that I could think of that I didn't pay tax
What
on
about
already.
grocery store?
It wouldn't affect them. I don't think it would affect, as I understand it.
Taxing people.
You're taxing, you have something done, you're charged a labor rate for doing that. When you go to the grocery store, you're not charged a labor rate for doing that.
It's only gonna be service.
It's only a service.
In our
services.
business, if I go out and do a big recovery, and they're gonna charge me 7% on top of what is already being done. And about 40% of those that we're doing are getting left in our lot. All the towing that we do for the county, 83% of the cars that we tow for the county are left in my lot. I have to process them, cost me about $250 a car to process them. Then we have to tow them a second time to dispose of them. You get about $450 out of that car. You got almost $550 invested in it without charging any storage. So if they're gonna tax us on that, that's not, that.
I know Micah Buckley was big on getting rid of property taxes, so that's some energy at the state level that supports it.
Mhm.
Property tax is a lot cleaner than trying to.
Well, it's always been the state tax. Well, it was until.
I think the hard thing about property taxes is you're taxed on not what you paid for the piece of property, but what its value is at the current time, and that.
But all the services that are being provided to you because you're a property owner all have cost of life increases. So having,
I understand, but you take somebody that's, retired, living on social security, and they own property and the value of it.
You're still-
Taxes
but
just
when
keep going
they
up
took,
and-
when they took the 65 and over and took it from a deduction to a credit, really protects those people.
You're still taxing unrealized gains.
But it doesn't protect my house is, I'm
Okay,
taxed at more than
right.
what a realtor told me the house is worth.
That's
So
the
then-
PWOA process is about, but on an unrealized gains piece that concerns me is the fixed income folks.
I'm saying like, yeah, you're.
That's where it's put the big pinch.
And that's why they did the changes that they did.
Got these people that have owned these places forever that can't afford the increases. They're on a fixed income.
Their house is paid off even in their.
Their beneficiaries will be the gain side of that, but
To her point too, they are putting in a piece to help that. By making that a deduction and not a credit, or no, the other way, making it a credit, not a deduction,
Yeah, they're making it a credit, not a deduction, which
but it's
makes a
still,
huge difference to the bottom line. And with going to the rate service, if it's your homestead and your home is worth more than $150,000, it is going to make a difference on you. And you're not going to feel the effects of the shift to the lit, because if you're retired, then you're not paying income tax.
Right.
I'm sure, and I mean, like you said, more changes to come.
This long session is gonna be
They backed it up
It's
a year.
a big deal, and we need to be very present.
So they backed it up another.
That's 29
Yes.
now.
So
It's 29.
28's budget supposedly will be working with what they've done so far, but it'll probably get changed quite a bit. We're about to work on 27's budget, so that's why I said earlier next year.
No, we won't have that ability to use that lit tax till the 2029 budget. Right, so it'll be.
Which we'll be working on in
28,
2028.
28.
Not next year, yeah.
Plenty of time to flip it all around.
Well, and I'm very interested that I think we pay close attention to what they're going to do with the rates. If we stay with property tax and we go to this $3, I think this session, that legislation needs to discuss what are the parameters within those dollars to not just end up in the same boat where somebody can take part of somebody else's. So if we don't need all of ours, not allowing other pieces of other underlining units to be able to come in and take part of that because we didn't take it, which was what was happening under the levy system. So Thompson talked about it, that they're going to, and I think we need to have a good voice, that we need to protect a decent amount. I mean, our rate is very low compared to anywhere else in the state, but
Because of our lakes, we rely heavily on the property tax value. And most of those folks, like you said, are not paying into income tax. It's a second home or they're retired. Or even utilizing the services that much because they're here seasonally. It's not like they're here annually.
But I mean, what June did, the average, we're averaging year round 75 to 80,000.
I think so there's shoulder seasons. There's May 1st to about the middle of June. And then there's peak. You get your Labor Day. And the rest of September. And we broke it down. She and I did one time on those, but then you place their technology.
Yeah.
And then you spread that out over 12 months. I think it put us at 55,000 annual. Because there's so many more months that are off. You know, there's 7 months that are just are really low months of base population, and then there's 5 that are inflated, but there's a shorter season. 5, and the actual peak is a very short one.
And even that, you've got year-round residents here that still need to leave.
Well, yeah,
And head to Florida for a couple.
When a lot of our
couple
impact
months.
to our jails, our courts and everything else happens from people that aren't even here for the week. They're towing over the state line for the weekend. You know, there's a lot more people there, but they're not part of what you would consider an annualized population.
Did I miss anything? It was a lot. And these poor two had to listen to me talk the whole way home too.
Thanks for going.
Yeah, thank you.
It's just one of the, like, all of these meetings, you can't, there's so much in them. Like, it's so good to get to them.
The hard part is that we don't use it very fast when we get home.
They have to review it.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else, Sandra? You good? Ready?
Make a motion to adjourn.
You want?
I'll second.
Reflection on that clock. I always have to keep checking. It looked like 11:11, then I moved my head to 11:17. All right, thanks, everybody.